Good morning. Time to start my week with Monday. Well, actually, I have already started my week because I had this early meeting at 8:30. And before that, I could do some small things. I send out a weekly letter that is the same year after year. So I just copy the letter into a social platform at work. So I could do that before the meeting. I only had 5 minutes, but that was quick. I could also check a website where I'm waiting for documents to come in. And today I had to check whether some of them had come in. So I just checked that. It took half a minute. Typical action that you can take before a meeting or when you have, just a little time. I have added wash the dishes at lunch every day this week because I am falling behind. The dishes are stacking up, and I'm trying to build a habit of washing the dishes at lunch. The reason I haven't, I used to do this, but the dining room is downstairs and I'm avoiding stairs because of my knee. So I've sort of fallen off the wagon with this habit to wash the dishes at lunch. But I am going to brave the stairs today and every day this week, just so I can build that habit again. So I do have washed the dishes on my habit tracker, but it's not enough. So the most important thing today is to film something, a presentation, before 2:00. So I have asked a colleague for the presentation that I'm going to use because I'm inheriting this presentation from this colleague. So I asked for that and I'm waiting for the email to arrive. And after that, I'm just going to look through it, choose the slides I want to use, and then record it and upload it. So that will probably take at least 1.5 hours. And after that, I'm free, so I can choose whatever I like on my next action lists for the week. So I have a few things to do. Yeah. Another thing I did this morning was to pinpoint what some of my habits mean because it's been a bit vague. So I'm actually going to change one of them. So there are a few exercises that I need to do, and I've sort of been unclear about when the habit is done. How much of these exercises do I need to do? So I've decided that I need to do a certain thing 3 times a day. And I have a reference here to a project spread in the back of the book, my home project section and the health tab. So these are breathing exercises that I need to do 3 times a day in order to cross off the habit. And stretching. I was going to do this 3 times a day, but it's too much. So once a day, each of these exercises once a day. If I do that, I can cross it off. So I've filled in half boxes up here for the 3 things, which means I've started. So sometimes you need to have a think and get clear on things if you notice that you're not sure whether you can cross something off or not. Yeah, so that's my first tip for the day. All right, time for an update. So I've put some post-its here just to remember what I want to say. Sometimes I don't put my next actions on the next action list or on the weekly, because I'm not sure if it's a someday maybe thing or if it's a 2-minute rule thing according to GTD, or what it is. So I put it on a post-it and stick it on a page where I want to see it. So I stuck this on the tracker spread because I knew I wanted to record something about the tracker. But there are other things as well on this post-it. So that's part of my system as well. So often the post-it things are, well, sometimes they're reference material, you know, like ideas about how to do things. I think I have, well, just reminders about which context is which, if I don't remember what the tab is. So while I learn my tabs, I have a reminder here that it's the IQ list, it's the listen list, and so on. Sometimes it's ideas to do with that page, like find an IQ next action for each sub-project. Well, I don't want to put that on a next action list per se, because I don't know if I am going to do it, when I want to do it. So I just put it on the IQ spread, so I see it when I'm here, and if I feel like doing it, I can do it. So yeah, maybe that's not traditional GTD, I don't know, but it works for me. Anyway, I wanted to say a few things more about the tracker. I have added one habit here, which is stretching. I talked about that just now. But it wasn't here to begin with. As you can see, I left this area blank for comments. But now today I have added a box and a habit here. So the tracker is a work in progress, and this is why I don't make pretty trackers, because I change my mind all the time. Things in my life change, so suddenly I have to track something new, or I stop doing yoga, for example, so that's not relevant anymore. So I can't really decide for a whole month what will be relevant for me. In 30 days, a lot can happen, a lot can change. So I added the stretching thing because I discovered on Saturday, I've written here, snapping, which is snapping hip, which is also a problem. And I stretched and it got better. So I thought, maybe I should be stretching every day. So now I'm tracking that as well. And the area for comments is growing smaller. And these comments about how I feel in my knee, it's too little space for that. So I started a spread in my project section after the exercise program for tracking, just writing when there's anything new to say, you know, or just documenting that this morning I felt good, and then I did this and it got worse, and then I did this and it got better. I think that's information I will want, and I can't cram it into this area. So I have a tracker for my knee in general, you know, bad, okay, and good. But I need to write more detailed tracking stuff as well. So I added that. Also, I did the 2-minute hotspot while I was waiting for my presentation to convert, because as I said, I had to film a presentation, and I did, but it took 2.5 hours, so 1 hour more than I thought, which is good to know. So I thought I might start a spread in my project section, and I have a perfect tab for it. There are clock times on the washi. So I will start a list where I put how much time things take, because that's really good to know. And I haven't decided on a color, but perhaps I will use the general color. So I'm going to put the presentation was, so I'll put that in brackets. Oh, this is not how you write it, but it took a little over 1 hour, the actual presentation. So it took 2.5 hours to record, render, and upload and link a 1 hour presentation. And I will fill this list with different things that I do at work and how much time it takes. So that way it will be easier to decide, well, to calculate how much time I will need for different actions on my next action lists, and easier to organize my week, because I know, well, I will have to have 2.5 hours for filming a presentation, for example, or thereabouts. So I know it will take almost a whole morning, and I should plan for that. So, yes. Yes, while I was waiting, did I say that? While I was waiting for my presentation to render, I picked a short habit, the 2-minute hotspot from the tracker to do, because I didn't want to disturb the computer because it's old and tired, and I was afraid that my 1 hour presentation wouldn't get rendered because I was doing something else on the computer and using up its brain power. So I did something else. I picked some things up off the floor from, well, here in my office for 2 minutes. So that's one way you can use the system to find, you know, these sort of short things you can do that don't take much time. I also need to cross off the presentation in the project box here for the week. So now I can see that I've done one big project for the week, and I only have 2 more. And I can cross it off here. I still have to upload the PDF with the slides, so I'll do that next. I also added a few post-it pages because I use a lot of post-its. So I put some here in the work project section, and here in the very back, and on my weekly, just to have them handy when I want to write something down that isn't on a specific spread. I also wanted to add something about the tracker, that it's good for seeing that it's not all bad. One reason I track my knee and my energy level is that I have a bad memory, and if I'm in a funk, you know, I can feel like, oh, it's been like this since January and I'm always tired. So the tracker helps me see that, no, actually, that's not true. It's just a temporary slump, or you've actually had several good days or whatever. So it's a good way of reminding yourself how life sort of fluctuates. And also you can see, was it a really cloudy month, or is that just my feeling? Did I get enough sleep? And so on. And one final thing for now, I added a row for summarizing the month at the very bottom. Either, like my habits, I can count each habit, how many times I did them, and put the sum down here. And in other cases, I want an average, so I can sort of see how many pluses or how many minuses and calculate an average, I think. Some kind of summary at the bottom to wrap up the month. All right, that's all for now. So what will I do next? It's past midday, so I will have lunch. But first I will upload the PDF, and then I will do the dishes. I will eat lunch downstairs and brave the stairs and wash the dishes. So yeah, that's it for now. Okay, so I did the dishes, and now I still have some time left during my lunch, so I think I will go to my home next action spread and see. Yes, I have 2 packages to fetch from the store, so that's what I'll do. And I'll also take some recycling with me because, well, obvious reasons. I added a task action to call my doctor for an appointment, and I've done that. So now I'm really tired. It's my after lunch coma, and I have done everything that I absolutely need to do today. So now I have the next deadline I have is on Wednesday, so I have a full day of nothing but washing the dishes, where I can prepare for that if I want to, and also a meeting on Thursday that I need to prepare for a little. So it really, this afternoon is quite it's sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, flexible, free. I can do what I want, but I don't want to do anything. So now is the perfect time to go to the IQ list, where I haven't put a lot of stuff, but I have put create a PowerPoint document and name it for 2 different presentations I have to work on. So that's just the bare minimum that I need to do to get going on that on those 2 projects. I can also download a document that I have to listen to. Have I written that I need to listen? Yes, I have. But I need to download it in order to be able to listen to it. So maybe, I mean, I'll do these things. This will take a couple of minutes. And then perhaps listen to these documents and do something else, like clean or take a walk or something, because I can't do anything that requires a lot of intellectual energy. So that's the good thing about having your contexts divided according to energy level, and perhaps also according to the time it takes to do different things. So when I feel like this, when I'm really tired, I would never pick anything from this list, from the assessment list, or the creative, difficult writing context. No, so okay, I'll do the easy stuff. Perfect. Okay, now I have listened to this document and this document. And while I was listening, I took a short walk, I cleaned the bathroom,
I did some laundry, so I could cross off a few habits on the habit tracker as well.
And I think that's enough of me blathering about my next action lists for one day, or one video at least. So I'm going to leave you now and actually take a break myself, because I need one. I'm going to make a cup of tea.